Good evening, welcome all of you. This evening we are having a brief discussion on the gain of democracy. So here the topic of discussion will be on democracy. As we know, democracy is for the people, of the people, by the people, and almost we are living in a democratic system of the adventure. So we are in democracy. So ours is the democratic form of government. We have got liberty, maximum liberty. It is because we are preferably having the enjoying also the democratic form of government. We have got our freedom, our democracy. So everything is settled. It is for the people, of the people, by the people, people. We in comparing other form of government like autocracy, communism, theocracy, so many forms of governments are there. Actually, it is the most preferred form of government. India is the largest democracy, and America is the oldest democracy. So here we are under the definitely we are happy, we are lucky to stay under democracy. Here in aphorism, today's discussion is on democracy, the gain of democracy. Sri Aurobindo quotes here, everything will be taken from Sri Aurobindo's thoughts and aphorisms. In 342, serial number 342, Sri Aurobindo quotes, the gain of democracy is the security of the individual life. The gain of democracy is the security of individual life, liberty, and the goods from the caprices of the tyrant one or the selfish view. So it is a big one. You must know really what democracy is really meant. Its evil is the decline of greatness in humanity. So in both way, its pros and cons has been considered in this single aphorism by Sri Aurobindo. We have seen the gain of democracy is the secure of the individual life, liberty, and goods from the caprices of the tyrant one. Already we know tyranny, that autocracy, theocracy, monarchy, so many forms of communism, socialism, so many ways we have seen in life. So here the gain of democracy is the security of the individual life, liberty, and the goods from the caprices of the tyrant one or the selfish few. Tyrant one or selfish few, it is a protection. Democracy provides protection. On simultaneously, we can find also the opposite side. Its evil is the decline of greatness in humanity. Also negation is there, opposite view is also there. It's evil is a decline of greatness in humanity. Again we are going for the democratic point of view. We are describing as Sri Aurobindo has described, democracy was the protest of the human soul against the allied despotism of autocrats, priests, and the noble. Already we have discussed it was a protest of the human soul, not the human, ordinary human mind, life, or body. A protest of human soul against the allied despotisms of the autocrat, priest, and noble. Again, after democracy comes the socialism. After democracy comes the point of discussion, it is on socialism. Then socialism, what it has done really, it is the protest of the human soul, same way, protest of the human soul against the despotism of the plutocratic democracy. Plutocratic democracy, it is socialism. Then third we are going for the anarchism, is likely to be the protest of the human soul, same way, protest of the human soul against the tyranny of the bureaucratic socialism, that is what known as or anarchism. So a turbulent and eager march from illusion to illusion and from failure to failure is the image of European progress. All the way it has been described on European style and European progress. It has been described as by Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo quotes of three three types of the social rule, social adventure. Still in the course, democracy is the protest of human soul against the allied despotism of autocrat, priest, and noble. This is number one. Number two, socialism. Again, the protest of human soul against the despotism of the plutocratic democracy. Third, anarchism is likely to be the protest of the human soul. Same way, protest of the human soul against the tyranny of the bureaucratic socialism. So it was going on democracy, socialism, and anarchism. Here in the course of the European style of living and style of adventure, a turbulent and eager march from illusion to illusion and from failure to failure. No way they saw the bright light. Is the image of European progress. Again, still in the course, democracy in Europe. Because already we have quoted on it is the best found in some leading countries of the world, like it is oldest in America. It is the biggest in almost in India. It is dead in China and Pakistan. So just imagine how it is in Europe. Democracy in Europe is the rule of the cabinet minister, rule of the cabinet minister, the corrupt deputy or the self-seeking capitalist, masked by the occasional sovereignty of the wavering populace. So this is the democracy in Europe. Rule of cabinet minister or the corrupt deputy or the self-seeking capitalist masked by the occasional sovereignty of a wavering populace. Again, after democracy comes socialism in Europe. What is the condition? Socially in Europe is likely to be the rule of the official and the policeman masked by the theocratic sovereignty of the abstract set. Anyway, this is second one is, it is the chimerical to inquire which is the better system among the two. I mean democracy, and the second is socialism. It is actually very chimerical to inquire which is the better system. It would be difficult to decide which is the worse. Which is better, which is worse, that is very difficult to decide. Very interestingly, Sri Aurobindo has almost opened the real scenario, the real touch point, the burning issues Sri Aurobindo has quoted before us, that is to decide which one is better and which one is worse, not good or bad. Which one is better and which one is worse, that is difficult to decide, because one on democracy, that is the rule of the cabinet minister, corrupt deputy, or the self-seeking capitalist, masked in the by the occasional sovereignty of the wavering populace. And simultaneously, how we find socialism in Europe is likely to be the rule of the official and the policeman, masked by the theocratic sovereignty of the abstract set. Just imagine how to decide which is better and which is worse. Very difficult. Anyway, steer the course again. Reaction perfects and hastens progress by increasing or purifying the force within it. Sometimes we react. Every action has equal and opposite reaction. Sometimes we react. Most of the time, probably we react. Steer in the course. Reaction perfects and hastens the progress by increasing and purifying the force within it. This is what the multitude of weak can't see who despair of their port, when the ship is fleeing helplessly before the storm wind. Very difficult, top discussion, and of course a top aphorism. But it flees, hidden by the rain or the ocean furrow, towards God's intended heaven. It is very difficult, turmoil, disaster. Still, then, actually, the truth is that towards God's intended heaven, it is actually moving. Again, I want to quote it. Very interesting, very touching line. Of course, touching aphorism here we can find here in the quote. Reaction perfects and hastens. Here, it has been perfect and Hassan, it has been turned as verbs. Reaction, perfects and Hassan's progress by increasing and purifying. Number one, you increasing. Number two, purifying the force within it. This is what the multitude of the weak. This is what the multitude of the weak and see who despair of their port, who despair of the port when the ship is fleeing helplessly. Seeing is fleeing helplessly before the storm wind, but it flees. We can observe, but difficult to find out what is the cause and where is the end. Hidden by the rain and the ocean furrow, still it is fleeing before the storm wind. Steering the course, it is turning towards God's intended heaven. It is not to be confused and it must not be taken otherwise because God has a plan, there is a plan definitely. Against here in the courts, tangled is the way of works in the world. Tangled, is the way of works in the world. When Rama the avatar murdered Bali or Krishna, who was the god himself, assassinated and liberated his nation, his tyrant uncle Krishna. Sometimes we find Rama killed Bali, Krishna killed his uncle Kansa. There was also a question. There was also sometimes what happens. Who shall say whether they did good or did evil? That time that was not a question. Today, suppose we are asking question. The question is put before us when Rama killed Bali and Krishna killed his uncle Kansa. Did whether they both the avatars both did evil or did good? But this can we feel that they acted divinely. This is the truth. This is the conclusion we can take. They have done something that is for divinity. They have done divinely. So it is a really tough question before us. Normally we put after age in the modern era scenario, modern age, we are putting the question before the time what really is good, what really is evil. But thing is that here in this conclusion at the of this point of discussion is that it is acted divinely. Against Sri Aurobindo, this is really 338. We are little bit we are passing to the another one. Rather hang thyself than belong to the horde of the successful imitators. That is the point now we are discussing on imitation because normally we are imitating. Normally what do it is told on the poets, these architects and all. So normally they copy, they imitate. That's what Sri Aurobindo quotes. Rather hang thyself than belong to the horde of the successful imitators. No way, no way good. That's what. Don't imitate. Imitation is sometimes a good training ship. It is a training ship. Okay, it is there before you. You can imitate. You have got the material before you. You have got the path. You have got the, of course, the guide. But thing is that what is the demerit of this? But it will never fly the flag on the admiral. It can guide you, that no problem. It has the power of sometimes good training ship, but thing is that major problem is that it will never fly the flag of the admiral. Against here in the course with this with the morality of the human race, a sound and durable human unity is not yet possible at the present scenario. With the present guidance, it is very difficult to quote upon it. With the present morality, that's what's here in the course on unhuman morality. With the present morality of the human race, a sound and durable human unity is not possible. But there is no reason why temporary approximation to it should not be the reward of strenuous aspiration and untiring effort. Something is possible. Now, morality, with this morality, very difficult to progress. Durable human unity not yet possible. But still that is possible. But there is no reason. Sri Aurobindo clarifies There is no reason why a temporary approximation to it should not be reward of strenuous aspiration or untiring effort. By constant approximation, steer in the course, by constant approximation and by partial realization, constant approximation and partial realization and temporary success, nature advances. Very interesting top form of consolation, guidance from Sri Aurobindo. By constant approximations and by partial realization, constant approximation, partial realization, and temporary successes, nature advances. Very top, very exciting, very actually accelerating, exhilarating sentence at the end of this one. I will try to quote it again. Again, it is really influential. Steer in the quotes, by constant approximations and by partial realization and temporary successes, nature advances. Again, we will go for another aphorism from Sri Aurobindo. Family, nationality, humanity are Vishnu's three strides. Very interesting. We will see family, nationality, and humanity. Three things Sri Aurobindo quoted: family, nationality, and humanity are Vishnu's three strides. From an isolated to collective unity, from an isolated to communal to collective unity. So Sri Aurobindo quotes again. It is a very inspiring sentence. Family, nationality, and humanity are Vishnu's three strides from an isolated to a collective unity. The first has to be fulfilled. The first has to be fulfilled, yet we strive for perfection of the second. That family. First one is family. The family that the first one has to be fulfilled, yet we yet strive for the perfection of the second, I mean nationality. Then what happens towards the third? It is actually a humanity. We are reaching out to our hands, and the pioneer work is already attempted. So it is a really something is there, a lot of hidden meaning is there. Sri Aurobindo quotes, family, nationality, and humanity are Vishnu's three strides from an isolated to collective unity, because you just need family, it is a small atmosphere, then comes nationality, then comes humanity. The first one has been fulfilled, family. Second one is nationality. We strive for perfection of the second, and towards the third, that is humanity. Second was nationality. Towards the third, we are reaching out our hands, and the pioneer work is already attempted, even though it is not completed. Again, on nationality, Sri Aurobindo having a, almost one very peculiar observation, very important here. Nationality is a stride of the progressive God. Nationality is a stride of the progressive God passing beyond the stage of family. Already we have seen nationality beyond family. After nationality comes humanity. Nationality is a stride of the progressive God passing beyond the stage of family. Therefore, attachment to clan and tribe must weaken or perish before the nation can be born. So something must be done, that is Sri Aurobindo quotes. Attachment to the clan and the tribe, because it is actually short-lived and narrow. So this must be weakened or perish before the nation is born. Because with this inclination and love for the clan and the tribe, so three things, three points here we have noted already. One is family, it is the first stage. Second stage is nationality, and the third is humanity. Here, in the course of two only, nationality, the progress of God beyond the stage of family. After family comes the nationality. To achieve the perfection of the nationality or to move towards the nationality, it is very difficult, and we must think that this attachment to the clan or tribe must weaken or perish. That is what the requirement, without which it is very difficult to make a progress. So this narrowness must go, there is no other way. Sri Aurobindo, finally we can find here God's world advances step by step, fulfilling its lesser unit before it seriously attends for the larger. From lesser, the attempt, the progress is towards a higher. Affirm free nationality first, affirm free nationality first if thou wouldst ever bring the world to be one nation. So this unification, it is actually from nearness to further, from smallness to greater, from meanness to the magnanimity. It is the really law, really rule that has to be followed and that has to be achieved. There is no other go. Bande Matram.